Hello, hello, hello. How are we? Welcome to Football Forum, episode 3. Here for a bit more fun, a bit more of a chat, all things football. Got some good stuff coming up, so we're going to chat about some stuff that's coming up in the future for the show, for the stream. Some good stuff, hopefully some exciting stuff for you guys. Also going to chat about the weekend just got in the Premier League. We're going to chat the sack race, Premier League, Championship, who's the first manager to get sacked, who do we reckon might come in for them, bouncing that chat around with you guys. We're going to talk about the Premier League week ahead, some predictions there and how that might play out, as well as interactive chat with you guys, just interacting with you on the stream. That's what this is mostly about. It's getting in here, having a chat, bit of banter back and forwards and having a good time. Richard, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. So that's what we're here for. So as for what's coming up on the stream in the future, I'm very excited to announce it's still in the works, in the background, but we're going to have some co-hosts and maybe do some specialised shows around those co-hosts. So like a Premier League focus, NPL focus will probably be when NPL is back, for those of you that follow the NPL at the local level, Bundesliga focus, etc., etc. So some more like specialised shows with co-hosts coming in that are sort of knowledgeable in that area. So we've got that coming up. Interviews. I've spoken about this before. The original thought behind this stream was to get interviews from people at all levels of the game. I've reached out to a lot of people. I've got people that are ready to come in and have a chat from all sorts of levels, from Premier League academies in England, all over Europe, people around Australia, at all levels, from local level all the way up to the top. That's coming. That will be coming when I've got more of an idea how the stream is going. When I get the stream running a little bit more professionally and looking a little bit more well set up, and our community grows a little bit more, then I can reach out to those people and say, we're ready to go. Let's get these interviews going. Richard Randall, good to interact while serving my Facebook jail time. How about those City fans? Yeah, good to have you in, Rick. That's why we multi-stream, try and hit as many people as we can, give everybody a chance to get involved. Those interviews, they're lined up, they're ready to go. I just need to get this stream ticking over properly how it should be, and then we can get those guys involved as well. And then the new thing we're introducing, just to start it off and see how it goes, Dream Team theme. Hey Chris, how you doing? Welcome to the stream, mate. Don't forget, guys, give us a like, subscribe, share the stream around, get people in here, and let's get that banter bouncing around. And if you are in here, drop us a hello so we know who you are. I can see there's people watching. I can't see who you are watching, so you need to say hello, let me know you're here so we can get that chat happening. The new segment, Dream Team theme. So depending on what you guys think and how you guys feel about it, we might do it weekly, monthly. We'll see how that plays out, bi-weekly, whatever sort of works with you guys. But basically, we'll come up with a new theme every week and build a dream team around that theme. So I'll announce the theme on Monday. Terry, mate, how are you doing? I bet you're enjoying relaxing and not having to ref games. Hope you're doing well. Chris Kumar, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Hope you're well. So the Dream Team theme, I was thinking for the first week, we'll keep it nice and simple, and we'll just go for a team of the week for the first week of the Premier League, a dream team for the first week of the Premier League. We'll keep it easy. And then if you guys want to send me your suggestions for Dream Team themes, I'll take them on board and we'll pile them out and go from there. So we can have like a Premier League all-time dream team, international dream team, where it's just whatever player from any era. And we can mix it up and have some fun with it. I'll give you guys my dream teams on those themes. We can get your dream teams, have a bit of a fun, back to back, have a bit of a banter with that, and see how we go with that. So that's the idea around the Dream Team theme. We'll see how that goes. So on today's show, I've tried to make some adjustments. I've heard some guys saying that with the chat, when the name comes up red, you can't see it. So I've tried to box the chat, so hopefully it's visible now. So if you guys can let me know if that's working okay and it's more easily readable, that'd be fantastic. as I've been saying, your guys' feedback for this stream is very important because it's basically letting me get it to a level where it actually operates properly for you guys. So, Chiloba, we'll definitely get to talking about Chiloba, or Chalaba, however it's pronounced correctly. But yeah, so today's show, like I said, those adjustments on the chat, let us know if that works. We're going to talk Premier League roundup. Heung-min Son, is he the best Asian player that's ever played in the Premier League? I think he might be. We'll discuss that. Sack race, first manager to get sacked in the Premier League, first manager to get sacked in the Championship. We'll have a chat about that. That was a request from Mr. Gomez himself. So we'll get that in the chat. What else have we got? Championship, promotion and demotion. We haven't spoken about the Championship really yet, so we'll have a bit of a chat about that for any of you that do follow the Championship at all, or have a team in the Championship that you sort of follow. And then we'll have a look at the Premier League week ahead. I'll have a bit of a chat about, and yeah, interactive chat with you guys. That's what we're here for. So, as I've said before, if you are in here and you haven't said hello, drop us a hello. Let us know you're here. Any questions, any ideas, just chat away. Keep it popping. I respond to everybody. I respond to every chat. The whole idea of this stream, you guys talk, I'll respond. And it keeps everything ticking over nicely and everything bubbling. So drop us a like, subscribe, share, get people in here. Tell me you're here. Like I said, I can see you're watching. I can't see who you are. Say hello, let us know you're here, and let's get the chat popping off. All right, so coming up first, the Premier League roundup. So we did do a bit of a roundup yesterday for those of you that tuned in on the games that had happened before yesterday. So all the games except for West Ham, Newcastle, City, Tottenham. So with that, if you guys want to hear my thoughts on any game in particular over the weekend, drop it in the chat. I'll tell you what I thought. I watched most of the games. I couldn't watch them all. I'm not a miracle worker. Mr. Casimir, how are you, man? Good to see you. Thanks for coming to join us. There's a superstar in the making right there, guys. Yeah, so as I was saying, any thoughts or anything like that you want on particular games, drop it in the chat. I'm happy to respond. And we'll get to the games that we didn't cover yesterday. So West Ham, Newcastle, for those of you that remember or have tuned in or whatever, I was predicting a pretty comfortable West Ham win. I don't think Newcastle are going to have a great year this year. I still believe Newcastle aren't going to have the best year this year. They did surprise me in this game. I will have to say that. They caught me out in this game. First game of the season, so there's that little bit of rust to shake off and all that sort of stuff. I get it. In terms of West Ham, but they definitely ran it close, a lot closer than I was expecting. I was expecting 3-0 West Ham. For those of you that didn't see it, spoiler alert, West Ham do win 4-2, but Newcastle took it to them. I think they scored in the first 4 minutes and put up a much bigger fight than what I was expecting from Newcastle. Nick Casimir, the United game. Bruno proved the haters wrong. Yeah, I mean, Nick, not just Bruno, but Pogba. Bruno with a hat-trick first game of the season. Pogba 4 assists first game of the season. And we were talking about this on the first stream. Pogba's 4 assists in the first game of the season. He's already beaten his tally of 3 assists for the whole of last year. Insane. Absolutely insane. Richard Randall, do you think third goal is a penalty? Are you talking about for the West Ham game, Rick? Just clarify that for me, mate, if you're talking about the West Ham game. But yeah, so West Ham made it very difficult for themselves. Yeah, West Ham game. To be honest, I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was enough there for it to be a penalty. I thought it was a little bit harsh. He missed the penalty. It was the follow-up that got him. But I personally didn't think it was a penalty. But again, everyone in chat that saw it, chat to us. What do you reckon? Penalty for that West Ham game? I don't know if it was. Nick Casimir, unreal game from Pogba. Yeah, it was. And he's pulling off passes that a lot of players wouldn't even bother trying. He's a funny one, though. You watch him for 90 minutes. For a lot of the time, he looks like he's walking around doing nothing. And he just pulls off these passes. And that through ball for that second goal was sensational. Absolutely sensational. He's a beast. But he's a beast when he wants to be a beast. And that's a bit of a headache for coaches. But yeah, Fernandes, Pogba absolutely smashed it. yeah, so West Ham, they eventually got there. They won the game like I thought they would. They sort of ended up winning it in sort of a comfortable fashion if you look at the scoreline, but they definitely made it hard for themselves. Richard, no penalty. Didn't don't want a repeat of last year with refs deciding games. Yeah, Rich, I agree with that. I think it's hard to argue that that penalty didn't have a decent impact on the game. It's pretty tough to argue that maybe there would have been a different result if that penalty wasn't given. I'm guessing VAR checked it. I can't recall off the top of my head if VAR checked it now. I'm guessing they would have. And for some reason they would have agreed, or it wasn't clear and obvious error. I don't know. For me personally, though, I wouldn't be happy with that being paid against my team. So I thought it was a bit rough. Yeah, what was good to see was I've forgotten which goal it was now. But there was a goal ruled offside on the pitch, and it got overturned by VAR, and it stood as a goal. Who saw that goal? Someone remind me who that was. Anyway, moving on. Next game, Tottenham City did not go how I expected. So, for those of you that did tune in, you know I was expecting a close game. I knew City are having problems. Tottenham are having problems, especially with that Harry Kane. Pardon me. Did not go how I thought it was going to go, if I'm being honest. I did say if Tottenham scored, and for those of you that watched, you can back me on this. I did say that if Tottenham scored, it would be Heung-min Son, and that's what it turned out to be. And it was the deciding goal. And Tottenham done well, given everything they've got going on, to go ahead and win that game. It is a good time to play City at the moment. I think teams will be wanting to play City early. The other dark horse that we get quite a lot is Leicester. There's a few people that reckon Leicester are going to creep into that top four. I don't know if they will based on that first performance against Wolves, but there's a lot of people that seem to think they're going to creep into that top four conversation as well. So as I was saying, Heung-min Son, on that, is he the best ever Asian import in the Premier League? What do you guys reckon? I reckon he is, personally. I can't understand why he's still at Spurs. No offence to Spurs fans. But is he the best Asian import in the Premier League? I say yes. Chris Gomez, bottom three. Norwich, Newcastle, Southampton. Chris, Norwich, I actually think are going to do well this year. I think they were unlucky they copped Liverpool first. When you look at the guys they brought in, I think Billy Gilmore in the midfield is going to make a massive difference. He's a class player. Even against Liverpool, they lost 3-0. He still looked quality. He's still the quality in a game they're losing 3-0 against who I've got them down as title favourites. So I think Norwich are going to do okay. I think they'll be a lower mid-table team. I think they'll be all right. Newcastle, I've got dead nailed on last. I don't think they're going to go well. Southampton, again, I think they underperformed last year. I think they can push on and do better things as well. So based on what I saw from week one, I would now say that my bottom three are probably going to be Newcastle, Burnley and Brighton. I hope not Brighton, because I've got a bit of a soft spot for Brighton. I think they play well. Manager, Nick, but at the end of the day, he has got a lot of things going on. He's in that transition period. They've got to work out how they're going to replace Aguero. That's not a job that any club can do overnight. Aguero is a sensational striker. You don't just bring someone else in and bang, it's fixed. Very rarely is that the case. So I think Pep's done enough to prove, especially coming off a season where he's just won the league, I think he's done enough to prove that he deserves a little bit of time to settle things around and see how things go. I don't think Pep needs to go yet. Chris Kumar following. Thank you, mate. Thanks for the follow. If you are in here, guys, like, subscribe, follow. For some reason, the algorithm loves it and it invites more people in to watch and it gets more fun. So if you can do that for me, much appreciated. If you're in here and you haven't said hello, please do. As you can see, I'm getting through the chat and responding to people. Say hello so we know you're here. Where are we at? Ed McCullum Sr. Rodgers has to go to Arsenal. That's not a bad shout, Ed. I don't think that's a bad shout at all. I think I can't see Arteta lasting much longer if he's going to lose to teams like Brentford. He's got to pull something out of the bag for Chelsea. If they get touched up by Chelsea, I can't see him being after the first month, but we'll see how that plays out. But Rodgers is a decent shout for Arsenal. I think they'd be happy to get someone like that in there. Nick Casimo, Son is an unreal player. Great to see him perform without Kane. Spurs look good with the new manager. Yeah, they do, Nick. And Son is a freak. Again, guys, I think he's the best. I think he's the best Asian player that's ever played in the Premier League. You let me know what you think. Tony Martini, hello Dino. Tony, how you doing, mate? Good to see you in here again. I think that's 3 from 3, mate. Well done, thank you. How you doing, mate? How's your health? You doing all right? Bob Lurker, anyone else creaming at the look of this bloke? Bob, I think you're alone on that one, mate. But thank you very much. Thanks for joining the chat. Edward McCullum Senior, think Nick is on the drinks. Yeah, it's looking that way with some of the things. Stefan Otto, yo. Hey, Stefan, thanks for joining the stream again, mate. Good to see you. How you doing? Bob Lurker, hello, I'm here. Hello, Bob. Ed McCullum, taken back to the top 4. I don't know if Arsenal got the squad to go back to the back 4 yet, mate. Jaden Adolph's liked the stream. Thanks for the like, Jaden. Good to see you in here, mate. How you doing? Ed McCullum Senior, taken back to the top 4. Rodgers, I don't think Arsenal have the squad to get back to the top 4 yet. Over a period of time, under Rodgers with some time, maybe, but I don't think he comes back bang top 4. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's quite how that would play out. Bob Lurker, Asian, you being racist, you're joking. No, Bob, not being racist, he's from that part of the world. You know, I'm English, is that racist? I don't think it is. Anyway, where were we at? The sack race, Premier League, we're sort of discussing that at the minute. For me, it's going to be a very close race between Arteta and Patrick Vieira at the moment. You guys tell me who you think is going to get the sack first, who you think might come in and replace those guys. We'll see. But Arteta, Vieira, they're looking like the two that are sitting on the edge of the danger zone, shall we call it. Ed McCullum Senior, I'm Scottish, you racist. I make exceptions for the Scottish. No, I'm joking. Paul Banks has liked the stream. Thank you for liking the stream, Paul. Good to see you again, mate. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so that's my 2 picks for the sack race. It's going to be Arteta or Vieira. One of those two. Well before Christmas at this rate. Randall, Vieira looked lost. Yeah, Rick, he did. It was a good win for Chelsea. Obviously, being a Chelsea fan, I enjoyed it. But at the same time, it's not like we had a lot to worry about. And I'm realistic of the fact that Vieira just didn't look like he knew what he was doing. So, yeah, Edward McCullough, lol, mate. Yeah. It's part of the fun, Eddie. Back and forth banter, English and Scottish. We love it. We just can't watch the football at the same time, that's all. Sack race for the championship. If Mr. Gomez is still in here. You still in here, Mr. Gomez? Give us a shout out. If you are, we'll get this sack race for the championship underway. On the subject of the championship, hang on a second. Bob Lurker, Richard Randall makes me want to cream. Yeah, Bob, I've heard that's a pretty common thing. I'm sure he'll be loving the attention. If it wasn't for lockdown, he'd probably invite you over, mate. But you guys can talk about that. Nick Casimo, Arteta needs to go. Vieira, give him a chance. Yeah, look, Nick, Arteta, I think most people would agree is on the way out. Vieira, I don't know if he should have got the job in the first place. He hasn't coached at this level. And based on what I saw from that first game, he just doesn't seem to have the answers to the problems that the Premier League are going to ask him. Obviously, it's a reasonable thing to say he's had one game, give him some time. That's fair enough. I just think he'll struggle. Bob Lurker, Ricky Dickey, come here. I'll leave you and Rick to talk that one out. Ed McCullum Senior, Derby going down, release Marshall, best keeper they have. Yeah, bit of a strange one. Seeing as you're here, Mr. Gomez, my sack race for the championship. Where are my notes? Give me a second. So, thanks for the like, Nick Casimo. Been in here from the start, took your time, but we'll let you go. My sack race for the championship. Where are my notes? Give me a second. So, thanks for the like, Nick Casimo. Been in here from the start, took your time, but we'll let you go. My sack race for the championship. Where are my notes? Give me a second. So, thanks for the like, Nick Casimo. Been in here from the start, took your time, but we'll let you go. yeah, don't, guys, if you're in here, say hello, like, subscribe, share, get your mates in here, keep the banner going, have some fun. Back to the chat. So for the sack race, I do think Wayne Rooney will be the first out the door in the championship. It's from what I've looked into. Players are coming out and saying he's the reason they're getting injured. Whether that's for him physically having the boots on in training and taking people out or not, I'm not sure. But apparently he's causing injuries. Thanks for the like, Eddie. Appreciate it, mate. Yeah, he's causing injuries. The results aren't good. I mean, I know everyone goes, oh, he kept Derby up, but did he really? Derby shouldn't have been down there in the first place. But, yeah, I can't see him hanging around. Bob Lurker, can you please give me Rick's number? I'm a young girl. Oh, my God. Who is this guy? Gomez, and he isn't even playing. Yeah, no, he's not. He's not. And that's, to put it nicely, I would say that his coaching career hasn't had the same lightning start that his playing career did it? But it is what it is, mate. It is what it is. I think he's first out. And then Darren Ferguson at Peterborough, I think they're going to struggle. I think they'll try and scrap him at some point in a panic to try and stay up. I think he'll have some problems. But we'll see. We'll see. I think it'll be Wayne Rooney first. That's who I think will be out first. What are your thoughts on that, Chris? Who do you reckon's gone first? Jaden Adolph, what a start for our boys, mate. Yeah, mate, wrapped. Absolutely wrapped. Again, it was a poor Palace team. Not the greatest coach from what I've seen so far. We'll give him some time to see what happens. It was his first game in charge. But can't complain about the result, can we? And Chalobah, beautiful goal. Kieran Dover, Dino, how you doing, Kieran? That baby must be popping soon, man. When's that coming out? Richard Randall, quoting Mr. McKay, drugs are bad, okay? Yeah, Mr. Lurker, maybe take note on that one. Twin Tube Gomez, don't think they can afford to sack him. Well, I don't think they can afford to keep him. And you've got the likes of John Terry and Frank Lampard running around looking for jobs at the moment. I think they'd be worth a shot, personally. Louis Hadfield, was they out of Derby? I think so, Lewis. I think so. Richard Randall McKay. Sorry, Rick, I must have missed something there. Lewis Hadfield, yeah, what a bloody debut for him. Yeah, Chalobah. Are you talking about Chalobah, Hadfield? Yeah, so on the championship, I'm just going to do promotion, relegation. Let's get into that. So, pick for promotion in the championship. I think Sheffield United will come back up, and I think Bournemouth will come back up. I think they'll get the auto promotion spots. I think for your playoff spots, you're looking at Fulham, West Brom, Forest, and Swansea. To be fair, I've got a bit of a soft spot for Forest. My great granddad was a Forest fan, so I do have a bit of a soft spot for him. There might be a little bit of personal wishing in there, but that's who I reckon is going to be in that playoff zone. Relegation, I'm thinking Blackpool, Peterborough, like I was talking about before, and Luton. Lewis Hadfield, yeah, mate. Trevor Chalobah. Probably the greatest thing about it was just how much it meant to him after he scored that goal. That and the crowd just erupting. I think that was the biggest scream of the match. And then for the rest of the game after that, every time he gets the ball, even if his own half, the crowd shoot. But yeah, it was a great debut. Very strong. Zaha in his pocket. You can't ask for much more from a young kid coming into the team for the first time in the Premier League. Hopefully, he gets a shot against Arsenal when he backs it up. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah, no, absolutely wrapped. Absolutely wrapped. It's good to see our young academy kids getting to go after all these years. Richard Randall, crowds back in general made football better. Yeah, 100% it did. And I think you could see that in the energy of the game as well, especially when you look at your teams like United and stuff that are used to those big crowds. I think United, I don't think United have played with that much energy in quite a long time. So you can't argue that those crowds don't make a massive difference, especially full capacity crowds, because half crowds are almost as underwhelming as no crowd. That sort of noise just dissipates. Kieran Dover, Middlesbrough promotion. They're a shout for sure. Actually, they are a shout, and I know I've got a few of my mates that would like to see Middlesbrough back up in the Premier League. Yeah, they're definitely a shout, mate. There's no doubt about that. Nick Casimo, promotion, Queen's Park Rangers, Fulham, Bournemouth. Yeah, again, three strong teams, three teams that have got a lot of Premier League history that would be expecting to try and get back to that level. Twin Tube, Gomez. Look at Forest last 15 games, only won one. New season, mate. New season, new start. They're a decent team, sort of like Derby. Derby and Forest should both be doing better than they're doing. Everyone knows it. The reason behind them not doing that, who knows? But they should be pushing up that end. Nick Casimo, relegation, Huddersfield, Derby, Blackpool. Huddersfield's a bit of a tough shout, mate. Derby and Blackpool. Again, you think Derby should be doing better than they are. I think if they get rid of Rooney and bring someone in with a bit more knowledge, they'll be all right. Kieran Dover, Neil Warnock class. You know what? He's a funny one, Neil Warnock. A lot of people give him crap, but he does know what he's doing. He's a quality manager. He seems to be one of them ones, though, that people love him or hate him. But he knows what he's doing. So don't forget, guys, if you are in here, give us a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you haven't said hello yet, say hello so we know you're here. Get your mates in here. Let's have a bit of a laugh, have a good time. Any questions, anything you want me to discuss, anything you want to cover, pop it in chat. Let's talk about it. So, moving on. Premier Week ahead. So, first game is Liverpool-Burnley. Well, for me personally, based on what I've seen from Burnley against Brighton, Liverpool should absolutely slap. Mr. Longley, thanks for liking the stream. Welcome into the chat, mate. Liverpool should be slapping Burnley, like absolutely slapping Burnley, like 3-4-0, comfortable, very little problems. It's hard to say in these early weeks. Hello, Mr. Longley. It's hard to say in these early weeks. Things are up and down. Teams are sort of getting back to fitness and all that good stuff. But I thought Liverpool played very well against Norwich. Burnley played very poorly against Brighton. And following on from that form, I think Liverpool should be going out and winning that game 3-4-0. You guys tell me what you reckon on that. City Norwich. I'm almost choking on this, right? Initially, you'd say City, but City look a bit toothless at the moment. I'm not saying Norwich win. Maybe a draw. I just don't see that being the straightforward game that it looks like it is on paper, if you guys know what I mean. Edward, Liverpool my pick for champions. Yeah, mine too, mate. I've got Liverpool, United 1 and 2. And then I initially had City 3 and Chelsea 4, but I think the way it's going at the moment, Chelsea might be 3, City 4. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah, so City Norwich, I don't think that's going to be as straight cut a game as people think. I think it's going to be a draw. Gilmore, man of the match. We'll see. Richard Randall, Norwich draw worth the punt. Yeah, 100%. I don't endorse gambling, but yeah. Brett Longley, agreed. City need a proper striker. Yeah, they do. And I'm sure they'll be just hammering on the door for Harry Kane. Probably regretting that they didn't keep Aguero on for another year. But here we are. Kieran Dover, Chelsea to win, Lukaku top. I think Lukaku's a shout for Golden Boot. I wasn't allowed to say that the other day when I was asked, but I think he's a shout for Golden Boot. He's a quality. He gets goals. You can't deny he gets goals. And from what I saw of his game at Inter, he's added more to his game as well. I don't know if we've got the defence to win. We've got a quality defence, but it's an old defence as well. So it's going to come down to injuries, fitness, whether those old boys can run out the extra. I say old boys, they're only 33, 34, but in football that's old. It's going to come down to if our defence can stay fit, and that's why I'm not 100% confident we win the league. But we'll see. We'll see how that plays. So we'll go City Norwich. I'm going for a draw. Villa Newcastle. Brett Longley, age means experience. 100%. And you can't argue their qualities. Thiago Silva, Azpilicueta, and Rudiger's getting to that top age now. Quality defenders. Absolutely quality defenders. The problem is the fitness side of it and the injury side of it. That's where I get a little bit concerned. I'm very happy with our defence when they're all fit. Love them in bits. Very confident in them. They're doing a very good job. You look at our defensive record the last few years, last couple of seasons, we've done really well. It's whether or not they can stay fit and sustain a full season with European competition and all that sort of stuff as well. Richard Randall, Newcastle will beat Villa. It's a good chance. There is a good chance. I was expecting more from Villa in week 1. To be honest, they didn't show they had that much grit about them. I think that Grealish would have made a difference. It's hard to argue he wouldn't. And until they figure out how they're going to work around that, it's really hard to say how that's going to play out. Nick Casimiro, Chelsea have a great keeper. Did you sign for him, mate? You didn't tell me. Nah, Mendy is class. He's a good keeper. But you still need a good defence in front of you. As you yourself would know, Nick, you can be the best keeper in the world, but if you don't have a good defence in front of you, you're still fighting an uphill battle. So we do have a good defence. They need to stay fit. We'll see. What were we talking about? I've lost track. Villa Newcastle. As much as I think Newcastle are going to bottom out and finish bottom, I think this is a good time for Newcastle to play Villa. I do think Newcastle will beat Villa. I think they're just a little bit more creative at the moment from what I saw of their game. So we'll see. Nick Casimiro, one day dinner. I've got no doubt, mate. I've got no doubt. Yeah, so I'm going to give that one Newcastle. Richard Randall. Nick is always my number one keeper. Yeah, mate. Shame you couldn't hang on to him. No, I'm joking. Quality keeper. So yeah, I will give that to Newcastle. Just based on how Villa played in the first week. Newcastle look like they have a bit more energy about them at the minute. I think when things settle down after sort of 4 or 5 weeks and fitness kicks in and people have worked out what they're doing and all that sort of stuff, Newcastle will start to drop back down. But I think they might get a result here against Villa. Palace, Brentford. I'm going to go Brentford. If Brentford can do what they've done against Arsenal and Palace play the way they played against Chelsea, Brentford are going to win that game. 2 from 2 from their first 2 ever Premier League games would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, I think, based on what I saw from both of those games, I think Brentford can go and win that game. Leeds versus Everton, that's a tough one to call. Leeds, the problem is, I don't think Leeds deserve to lose 5-1, if I'm being honest, especially based on the first half of that game. Nick Casimiro, thanks Richard, you're my number one. What's going on here? Jeez. Anyway, Leeds. Richard Randall, Brentford beating up London. We'll wait and see what happens when they get to Stamford Bridge, mate. But yeah, Leeds didn't deserve to lose that game 5-1, especially if you look at the first half of that game. It was very end-to-end. Any team could have got ahead in that first half. United happened to do it. And then United sort of found their swag and got away. But I don't think that Leeds deserve to lose that game 5-1, and I don't think they're going to go and get smacked by Everton. They do leave themselves defensively very open. Everton do have good attackers in Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, so I am going to say Everton win the game, but I don't think it's a massive scoreline. Brighton-Watford, probably going to be an atrocious game. Brett Longley, yes they did. Come on, mate. Come on. I know it hurts because you're a Leeds fan, but don't be that bitter. The first half, you done well. I think the first half, I said this on my stream the other day, first half, Leeds done a very good job of congesting the midfield and making it very hard for United to play. They countered regularly, just didn't finish. It was once United found that swag. Leeds are always defensively a little bit sus. They're not fabulous in defence. That's when it all fell apart, unfortunately. But anyway. Gomez, do you think Leeds will have second season syndrome? I don't know, Chris. I don't know. I'm going to think on that one. I'll get back to you on that. Richard Randall, United front 3 combos are deeper than anyone else in the league for potency. About 5 to 6 quality players in those positions. Yeah, I mean, especially bringing in Sancho as well, Rick. It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to say. Like I said, I've got Liverpool favourite, United second. That could easily switch. Their attacking prowess is sensational. They've brought Varane into, or as Robbie Slater says, Varane. They've brought him in to play in defence, which I think is going to make a massive difference as well. He's absolutely... I would not be surprised if he ends up being the signing of the season. sensational team. Nick Casimo, home advantage going to make a massive difference with the crowd back. Yeah, it is. We should see that. There was a study done on that. So from the COVID era, teams lost more home games than ever before, statistically, in all leagues all over the world. It's obviously hard to argue that that's not because of the fans. That those fans give you that adrenaline buzz, bang, they give you that push. It's hard to argue that that's not the reason teams lost more games than they won than they had ever done before. So, yeah, I think home advantage will be back in force with full fans in the stadium. If we can keep full fans in the stadium, I think home advantage should be a big thing this year. Chris, getting back to you on Leeds. Second season syndrome, I do think they'll finish lower than they did last year. I don't know if they'll get relegated. I don't think they will get relegated. I think they've got a good enough squad to stay up. Some people were saying they should be pushing on to higher things. I don't think they will. I think they will taper off. So yeah, I'll say that they will have second season syndrome to a degree. Which game are we up to? Brighton Watford. I think that's going to be a dreadful game. I think that's going to be a terrible, terrible game. Neither team played well. I'll tell a lie. Watford did play well. They did win the game, but I don't think it's going to be a cracking game. I think Watford will win again. Just 2-1, something like that. Because they are the great unknown team, as I've been saying. I think they'll come out and get a second win there, but I think it'll be tight. Southampton United, no reason United shouldn't go out and get another win there. They should be pretty comfortable about it. Should be a good game. I think Southampton will make a fight out of it, but I think United come away with a comfortable win. We've got Wolves Spurs. Spurs will be pretty confident that they'll go into that game with a win. Brett Longley, be right back. No worries, mate. I'll start the stopwatch. Richard Randall, high-scoring game, Watford versus Brighton, in my opinion. It could be. It could be. Both teams could defend quite well, though, so I don't know. We'll see how that plays. Yeah, Wolves, Spurs. Spurs will be confident going there after beating City. Wolves will be a little bit downhearted after losing to Leicester the way they did. It was a cracking goal. They went down to an amazing goal. I think Wolves will come out fired up, wanting to make up for the fact they lost that game. Can they do it against Tottenham? Of course they can, 100%, but I don't think they will. I think Tottenham win that game 1-0, 2-0, something like that. And then the big one, Arsenal-Chelsea. I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm going to wait. You guys give me your predictions. Yeah. Arsenal-Chelsea. Tell me what you think. So for those of you that just joined, a quick recap on what's coming up on the show moving forward. We're going to have some co-hosts. We're going to try and specialise the shows around those co-hosts. So like a Premier League focus, MPL focus if that does come back to being a thing again. Bundesliga focus, things like that. Richard Randall, Vardy celebration was the best of the round. Howling at Wolves fans. Yeah, it was class, Rick. I was talking about it yesterday on the stream. For me, celebration of the week. Probably going to be celebration of the season. It's going to take some beating. I enjoyed it. It's good to see that. I enjoy that cheeky little sort of poke at people. It's good fun. Yeah, so coming up on the show, co-hosts, we'll see how that plays out. We're just going to work some things out behind the scenes, what times work for everyone and all that sort of thing, but that's coming up. Interviews, we've got some coaches from all levels of the game, literally from like local around here in like Melbourne, Victoria, from academies in Premier League, all over Europe and everything in between. So we've got some good interviews coming up once I get the stream running properly. And then the Dream Team theme. So this week's Dream Team theme is Team of the Week from week 1 of the Premier League. Write yours down, and then we'll go Friday evening, 7 o'clock. We'll stream. I'll give you my Dream Team from the week. You guys give me yours. We'll bounce off each other and have a bit of a chat about it. So Dream Team, Premier League, week 1, Team of the Week. Give us yours. All right. Nick Casimo, I think Arsenal will put a big fight. haven't scored yet and want to do their fans proud. Chelsea will still win 3-1. So on that news, Chelsea-Arsenal, literally just before I jumped on stream, Thomas Tuchel come out and said Angola Conte should be fit for Arsenal and Lukaku should also be fit for Arsenal. So Lukaku's officially out of quarantine. Monday's their day off, so they're not training today, but Lukaku will be in training tomorrow, ready to prepare for Arsenal on the weekend, and the expectation is he will make his debut against Arsenal on the weekend. So I think with Kante coming back in, Lukaku joining that front lineup, I think Chelsea will win. I think Lukaku will get himself off the mark against Arsenal. I think Chelsea will win. I think Chelsea will win fairly comfortably. If Arsenal play like they did against Brentford, I should add. Twin Tube Gomez, 2-0 Chelsea. Decent shout. Richard Randall, Arsenal to be the only team to score but Chelsea to win 1-0. I wouldn't be at all surprised with Arsenal at the moment. Peter Natsis, hey Dean, how are you, matey? Yeah, good Pete, good to see you in the stream, mate. Thanks for joining us. Your boys are looking dangerous, mate. They're looking very good. How do you reckon you're going to go on the weekend? Nick Casimo, great news for us. Yeah, exactly, Nick. So, like I said, it was just before I jumped on stream. Tuchel come out, Kante back in, Lukaku in. I think if Lukaku plays up top, Werner can come in off the left. Lukaku's going to draw those two defenders. Werner can start making those runs behind like he likes to. And things just start to click a little bit better like that. For me, you guys tell me what you think. For me, I think our top three, Lukaku on the top, Werner on the left, Mount on the right. Mount making those runs as well, stretching the defenders for Lukaku to work off as well. So the other thing I'm excited about for Lukaku coming back is if you look on the weekend, Alonso whipping those balls into the box early. You put Reece James on the right side, he's going to do the same thing. You got Reece James and Alonso whipping balls in. Lukaku's going to gobble them up. He's going to gobble them up, score a lot of goals. It's going to be good times. So I am excited. Come on, Chelsea. So guys, as I said, if you're in the chat, say hello, drop us a like, share, subscribe if you're on the YouTube. And thanks for joining us. Whatever it is you want to chat about, your team, whatever else, just jump in chat. Let's talk. There's my previews. You guys tell me what you think. Like I said, that's my top three. Peter Natsis, I think we can play well. Pogba needs to make it more than one a week thing. Yep, Van Bissaka turned ball over too much. Yeah, I did see that. Peter, I think the thing is you are playing Leeds and they do make it tough, especially if you're playing from the back. They do like to press high, press aggressive and make it hard for you to play from there. So I think you can expect that against Leeds. I think all the teams are going to struggle against Leeds in that aspect. Pogba, mate, he's already, like I said, 3 assists all season last season. He got 4 in his first game. But I was saying before, Peter, just before you joined, that the thing with Pogba is he walks around for 90 minutes doing bugger all, and he makes 3 or 4 amazing passes, which is great. You've won the game off of that. But for me, and I'm not even a United fan, I just want to see him do a bit more. Which sounds greedy because he got 4 assists, but what did he do outside of those 4 assists? From what I was seeing, not a whole lot. Nick Casimo, thoughts on Tammy to Roma? Nick, absolutely devastated, mate. Absolutely devastated. I love Tammy. I don't know why Tammy gets so much hate. I think he's a quality striker, and it's going to be Lukaku 2.0. We've got rid of Tammy. Yes, we have a buyback clause for as long as he stays at Roma. Yes, we get to execute it first before he can go anywhere else. I get that. But I can already see how it plays out. Arsenal put in a bid. We go, nah, Arsenal can have him. They get him. He bangs in goals, and we're sitting there going, bloody hell, we've lost a killer striker. Exactly what we've done with Lukaku. Peter Nastas was a different class. He was. Him and Fernandes, absolutely different class. Absolutely different class against Leeds. That was the big difference maker. Like I said, if you watch the first half of that game, it was either way. Second half of that game, for the first 5-10 minutes, either way. And then as soon as you guys hit that second goal, just absolutely buried them from there. Your swagger turned on, bang, you were away. Brett Longley, back now. Welcome back, Brett. We actually completely stopped the stream just waiting for you, mate. So I'm glad you're here. Richard Randall, 3-4-3. Don't know much about back three, but Alonso left mid, Kante and Mount centre mid, James right mid, Werner, Lukaku, Pulisic. It's not a bad lineup, Rick. It's, as I was saying to you the other day, we do have this absolute embarrassment of wealth when it comes to attacking talent. It's going to be interesting to see if Tuchel finds an attacking setup he wants to stick with, or if it's just constantly rotating. I don't know how that's going to play out, but I'm looking forward to it. The good thing that comes from this is people have to fight for their place if they want to play. So, Nick Casimiro, I think it's good for his career. Wasn't going to play at Chelsea. Yeah, I agree with that, Nick. I don't think he was going to get the game time at Chelsea, obviously. That's why he's gone to Roma. It doesn't make me any happier that he wasn't getting played in the first place, especially last season. It was doing my head in. Last season, our striker couldn't score. Top goal scorer scored 7 goals. Tammy has one of the highest goal-to-minute ratios in Europe, and he's sat on the bench, and we need goals. It done my head in. But it is what it is. He's gone, and I think he'll be better for it, but it still upsets me. Brett Longley, so you should. You're welcome. Dushko, hey Dean, good to see you so active. Did you cover the Arsenal game yet? Shocking, crazy good opening day, plenty of good games and goals. Dushko, we did cover the Arsenal game. More than happy to chat about it again with you. The big disappointment for me, Dushko, that second goal. I can promise you if I ever come down to Pakenham and see you boys defending like they did on that second goal, I'll slap you myself. Pete won't have to. That second goal was shocking. But it's good to see you in here, mate. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to drop us a like. I hate saying that because it sounds wanky, but it works apparently. I'm just doing as I've been advised. Nick Casimiro, 100%. Shocking goal, Nick. Shocking goal. If any of my under 16s are in here, I'm sure they can tell you I would smash them for letting a goal like that in. Absolutely shocking. Especially for Premier League. Oh. Oof. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Arteta. If I was Arteta, I'd just be looking for somewhere to hide my head, to be honest. Shocking goal. Shocking goal. But Brentford will be wrapped. As for goals, Dushko, I can't remember an opening week in the Premier League where there were so many screamers. I couldn't remember what year I want to see this. But yeah, just amazing goals all around. One of my favourites was actually Dominic Calvert-Lewin's diving header. I really enjoyed that goal. I just love to see a diving header. You don't see them very often. Richard Randall, where was VAR on allowing Brentford player to hold Leno? I don't know. I wasn't in the booth. I'll try and ask for you, mate. But no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Does it really make a difference? Not really. I think they were losing the game anyway. And really, it shouldn't have got to that point. It shouldn't have got to the point where they're heading the ball in on that back post off that throw-in. I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying, but Arsenal were the makers of their own demise. They can't really complain. Double check I haven't missed anything in chat, because that would be pretty rude of me. If you haven't said hello, guys, please do. Dushko, we shouldn't need VAR to beat Brentford. Case in point. Absolute case in point. That's exactly what I'm saying, Dushko. Exactly what I'm saying. And you shouldn't need VAR on that second goal if you can defend. Your keeper being held is irrelevant. Your keeper could be asleep on the goal line. It shouldn't have got there. Yeah, no. I don't think there'll be many Arsenal fans complaining about VAR losing them the game to Brentford. They will come away looking pretty silly after that one. So, what's your predictions next week, guys? Talk to me. For those of you that have just joined, oh, hang on, Nick Casimiro, what do you think Arsenal should do now? If they don't sack Arteta, but if they do, who should they bring in? Eddie McCullum Sr. made a good suggestion earlier actually on that, Nick. Arteta needs to go. He's had ages. I've talked about this before, in that Arsenal fans were so eager to get rid of Arsene Wenger because he kept finishing fourth. I bet they're looking back on that now going, holy crap, I'd kill to have Wenger back in. But sometimes it's the better the devil you know. But yeah, Arteta I think will go. I think he will go. Arsenal fans are just done with him. And you can see why. He's had more than long enough to put something in place. to at least be competing for those European places. I'm not even saying Champions League, just European places pushing into there. And he's not. 8th 2 seasons in a row. No improvement. He'll go. Eddie McCallum Sr. was suggesting Rodgers to come in. I mean, it's not a bad option, especially if you're looking like a mid-season signing. It's not a bad option at all. Eddie Howe is another one that's been linked with Arsenal several times. I'd love to see him there, to be fair. But who do you reckon? Who do you reckon, Nick? Brett Longley, PSG to win Champions League. They'll be pissed if they don't. They'll be pissed if they don't. When you look at their squad, especially their attacking lineup now, Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, it's just insane. It's just insane. They have to win it. They have to win it this year. There's no excuses. If they don't, they failed. Dushko, I'm not sure Arteta is the issue. Everyone we bring in does the same thing as the one before. I agree with that, but Wenger got a tune out of that squad. So, well, not that squad, it's a different squad. But Wenger was getting a tune out of the team. None of these guys are. I personally, I do hate that it's always the coach and always the manager that gets the blame. Being a coach myself, there are a lot of things that are out of our control, and I get that. But at the same time, when you've had that much time to put something into place to show you're trying to turn things around, and you haven't, it's hard to argue that you've done enough. So, from personal experience, right? So even this year, if we look at this year, under 16s, I know it's a completely different level, but it's the same principle. Under 16s this year, we get into a bit of a bad trot. I can be stubborn as a coach and say, I'm just playing the way I play and we're just going to get it, or too bad. I can do that as a coach. I don't think you should. So for me personally, a coach has to be adaptable. A coach has to see the problems, work out how we can maybe fix those problems, and make it work for the team that you're working with. So we've changed things backwards and forwards and tweaked and bam, and we got into a good run. But that's because I'm working hard behind the scenes, taking ownership for the fact my team's losing. I'm not putting it onto my players. And I don't think a good coach ever puts it onto their players. You can't. You can't. You've got to take ownership in. It's your job to find the solution. If you're finding the solution and the players are just refusing to do it, that's a different story. But that's your job as a coach. Find the solution and put it in play. So, from what I've seen of Arteta, he hasn't found a solution. Ryan Wolf liked the stream. Thanks for the like, Ryan. Good to see you again, mate. Say hello this time. Stick around for a bit. Where were we? Richard Randall, who is game of the round? United Leeds. United Leeds is the game of the round, for sure. Brett will disagree with me, but I think United Leeds is the game of the round. Brett Longley, totally agree. He beats me after a bad game. You asked me to. Dushko, that's a fair point. What were your main takeaways from match day one? Main takeaways from match day one, Vieira just looks clueless. Arsenal look gutless. They had most of the ball. They had a lot of shots, but it's one of the weird games where if you look at the stats, Arsenal dominated. But watching the game, you didn't feel like they dominated the game, and they definitely, watching the game, didn't look like they deserved to win the game. So it was a bit of a weird one, but they didn't have much guts about them. Newcastle were a bit more up and about than what I was expecting them to be. And United are looking deadly. They're looking deadly. I know they played Leeds, and Leeds are defensively poor, but they are looking deadly. What about you, Dushko? Just double check I haven't missed anyone. I think we're good. So for those of you that have just joined, Dream Team theme, Premier League Week 1, who's your Dream Team? You tell me. So Premier League Week 1, Dream Team, not tonight, we'll talk about it Friday afternoon. So you've got the week, do your research, get your team together, and I'll give you mine on Friday. Nick Casimo, who do you think will win the player of the season? Rafael Varane. If United win the league, Rafael Varane. Who do you reckon? That's for everybody. Player of the season predictions. Let's hear it. Player for Chelsea. Player of the season for Chelsea. I reckon Mason Mount's going to back it up 2 years in a row. So if you're in here, you haven't given us a like, haven't said hello, got to say hello. Rude not to say hello. Give us a like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We're talking good football. Nick Casimir, done that one. Richard Randall, any formation for the team of the week? Whatever you want. It's your team of the week. Brett Longley, Phillips for Leeds United. Yeah, look, Brett, I was actually saying to Rick, after that game, it didn't help Leeds that Calvin Phillips wasn't on the pitch. I think if Calvin Phillips is in the midfield, it's a different outcome. He's a big physical unit. He's a very, very good underrated holding midfielder. I'm glad he got a lot of time for England because that sort of brought him to the forefront. Him in the game makes a difference. You can't argue that. And it didn't help that he wasn't. Richard Randall, flop of the year. There's going to be some crackers. Who's going to flop the most? I'll get back to you on that one. Let me think about that one. Nick Casimo, good choice. I think Son, if he keeps scoring and taking leadership. Yeah, Heung-min Son will be right up there. He will be right up there. He's a quality player. People don't realise how important he is to Kane playing well as well, I think. I think if he goes to City, Harry Kane goes to City, I don't know with supply coming from the guys like Kevin De Bruyne, for example. It's almost impossible not to start well. But I don't think he's going to be that much of a standout or that much better than me. I think he'll be as good, maybe a little bit better, but I don't think it'll be a drastic difference. If anything, he'll taper off a little bit because the guys around him will be doing more. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, as I was saying, if you're in here and you haven't said hello, say hello. Give us a like, share, subscribe, do that good stuff. Get your mates in here. Let's have some good banter getting going in the chat. Ask me what you want to ask me. Let's keep it popping. Let's keep it popping. Mr. Gomez, are you still about? Or if not, Mr. Gomez, can any of you just tell me if it's the chat nice and clear? Can you see it all okay? Because I had some feedback that the names and stuff were coming up red and you couldn't really see it on the red background. So, also, like, is the camera clear? All that good stuff. Give me the feedback on the stream so I can help improve it. Oh, 2 seconds, guys. My chat seems to have frozen for a sec. Give me a second. Come on. Just try and close this and see if it gets my chat popping again. Hang on a second. Where are we? Come on. Here we go. All right. Dushko, chances of FFV cancelling the season now. We've got an extra 2 weeks of lockdown. Dushko, if they don't, they're crazy. I know they don't want to. They'll be pretty eager to make something happen, but it's pretty much the end of the season at that point. And like my under-16s team, I think we've got 9 games to catch up on already before those 2 weeks. So I can't see how they make it work, but we'll see. Nick Casimo, Ballon d'Or winner. For the Ballon d'Or coming up, Angola Conte. I think. That's my personal preference. Brett Longley, rising star. Who do you reckon will have a breakout season? Trevor Chalobah. Based on that first game and what he's done in pre-season, Trevor Chalobah. If you don't know who he is, he's playing for Chelsea. keep your eye on that kid. Peter Nat says, no Dallas McNeil in the chat. What's going on, Pete? Where are the rest of the senior boys? Just for the record. Let's get them in. Chris Gomez, watching on a different thing now. Welcome back, Chris. Is the chat working all right for you, Chris? Can you see everything okay? Nick Casimo, stream is great, Dino. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it, mate. Peter Nassis, what do you think about the president of Pakenham United? I've heard he's a bit of a twat. But, you know, at the end of the day, can't argue that he's improved the club, can we? Chris Gomez, yes, all good. Beautiful. Yeah, Pete, where are the senior boys, mate? Dushko, where are the senior boys? Hiding away. Yeah, so actually, Pete, I was talking to Chris, as well as getting you on for a chat, Pete, at some point. Still want to do that. I'll still make you number one. I was going to get Chris in here and talk about being a president of a club and all that good stuff as well. So, Dushko goes for Derby, says a lot. A little bit clueless, if nothing else. He walks around with that silly sheep on his arm. You seen that? Silly sheep on his arm. Ridiculous. He goes all right. He goes all right. Very happy to do that anytime. As soon as I've got everything running properly, because I know it's improving with every stream, but it's not 100% yet. I've got a couple of guys that are going to help me out, just fine-tuning the stuff in the background. As soon as that's all ticking away and I'm confident in what I'm doing, we'll work it out. Have you got a webcam, Pete? Also, for those of you in the chat, so for those of you that don't know, Peter Natsis is the senior coach for Pakenham United, State 5. If you've got any questions that you'd like to get the perspective of a coach at that level, you can pop them to me privately, you can pop them in the chat, I'll write them down. So with all these interviews that I do, I want to try and do as many of them live as possible. Some of them won't be possible to do live because we're going to have guys international. So I do have a guy from the Chelsea Academy lined up, for example. It's going to be a bit harder to do that live because of the time difference, but still the idea is you guys can get questions to me and I'll ask your questions to these guys as well. So we're getting something a bit different to your typical, dare I say it, wanky interview, if you know what I mean. So where are we? Chris Gomez, shows I know shit football, so I'm at the right place. Chris throwing shade. Dear. Nick, what do you think Australia can do to make football bigger in this country? Well, first things first is they got to get the money pyramid the right way up because it's upside down over here. Second thing, it's got to be more affordable. To me, so let's take the NPL system for example. Seeing as you've played in it, Nick, I've coached in it. The NPL system is a perfect example of what is wrong with football in this country. Reese, thanks for the like. Thanks for joining the chat, brother. Good to see you. I don't think deleting the NPL is the answer, Richard, but for me, if the principal idea of the NPL is if the principal idea of the NPL is that your best players are playing in the best league, your best players, your best young talent coming through shouldn't be paying $2.5 grand to play football. It's insanity. Absolute insanity. There are players, I've seen players in this country that are better than what I've coached in the NPL, but they can't afford to be there. So they don't get recognised, they don't get moved into the higher streams to be recognised, and they just fall through the cracks. And you end up with quality, absolute quality players that just never even get seen because the scouting system in this country is embarrassing as well. So it needs to be affordable. It needs to be affordable for your young talent coming through. And it needs to be affordable for your coaches. Like for me to go get my badges, it's costing me the next badge I go and get's just over $2 grand. It's nothing about it's affordable. And then get rid of the salary cap. They won't get rid of the salary cap because when they do, the AFL is going to struggle. But if they get rid of the salary cap, international investors come in, football explodes. Mark my words. Peter Natsis, I'm happy to answer all questions. Beautiful, mate. I don't have a webcam. That's fine. We can get you on a mic or something. We can work something out. We'll figure that out. Peter Nass says it's only a money-making scheme. At the moment, 100% it is. Chris, breaking news. Harry Kane included in Spurs 25-man Europa squad. There you go. Chris Gomez coming in with the breaking news. Thank you, Chris. Richard Randall, AFL kills us in this country because the top sends money down to the grassroots and invests in country football. That's how football is in England, and that's why football in England is massive. Whereas soccer here, we'll say soccer so we don't confuse football and soccer, or footy, shall we say. For this instance, all the money is going from the bottom up, and then you're paying, like we're technically paying $750,000 for guys like Tim Cahill to come in, score one bicycle kick and do bugger all at 50 years old. It's insanity, absolute insanity. Nick Casimo, 100% agree. Should be like England and how they set up their system. Look, England's system's not perfect, but it's a damn sight better than what the Australian system is. It is what it is. If we want to copy anyone, we need to copy Croatia's system. Because if you look at per capita, the amount of top end, like top league talent Croatia pumps out is insane. Absolutely insane. You don't realise until you look into it, but for their population and the amount of players they have playing in like top divisions, it's absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. Where were we at? Brett Longley, no one should be paying that much anywhere. Community football needs to be better investment from council, government, federations. 100% true, Brett. 100% true. Jack, thanks for liking the stream. Good to see you back in here, mate. 100% true. It's, for me, personally, if you're serious about getting your national team to a point where you can compete against the likes of your Brazils, Italy's, England's, Croatia's, the big dogs in football, your best young talent shouldn't be paying to play at all. They should be on scholarships. They should be in academies, A-League. So A-League teams, academies should be compulsory, and the kids within those academies shouldn't be paying to play. Eddie Jr., thanks for joining the stream, man. Thanks for the like. Happy birthday for yesterday. Hope you're doing well. Reece Albury, true that. It is what it is, Reece. Jack Brett, oi oi. Good to see you, mate. How you feeling? Chris Gomez, as a club, we have to pay $8,000 to fix the lights. The sensational thing about this, so for those of you that don't know, with the Pakenham United lights, the council have built this football purpose ground facility. Amazing, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And you get there and everything at face value is amazing. And then you look at this pitch, fence around it, all looks normal. The lights are inside the fence on the synthetic pitch. So to get the lights fixed, we have to cut the fence down so they can get into the lights. What sort of design is that? You got to cut the fence down to change the light bulb. Anyway, Richard Randall, AIS football program should never have been shut down. There's a lot of things that shouldn't have happened, mate. Like the whole thing where they tried to take the culture out of the game. You weren't allowed to have your nationality on display for your club. That stuff kills it. That whole feeling, that energy is what football is. That's what football is. That's why people are in love with football. Yeah, that's why people over here play football instead of AFL. That's why football is the most highly participated sport in the country, because there's a feeling you get at a football game that you don't get anywhere else. You don't get that atmosphere. You don't get that energy. Does it get out of hand sometimes? Yeah, 100% it does. But for the most part, that's the energy that's what the game is. That's why it's the world game. It's infectious. Richard Randall, exactly right. Thank you, mate. Thank you. I am passionate about it, as you can probably tell. It's tribal. Brett Longley, exactly right. It is tribal. It is tribal. And it's bred from that mentality. And to try and bury that and hide that is to basically kill the game. That's what it is. They've done a U-turn on it. Clubs are now allowed to have their nationalities and stuff on show. I think that's fantastic. Like I said, can it lead to conflict? Yeah, it can. But at the end of the day, it's doing a lot more good than harm, realistically. Reece, thoughts on Leo Messi and his move to PSG? It was always going to happen. Realistically, they're the only club that got the money for him. Barcelona are like 1.4 million euros in debt or something. So Barca are just going to plummet. They are going to plummet because the Spanish league's also introduced their own financial fair play rules, and they're strict. They are strict. So it was always going to happen. As far as how well it's going to go, Messi is going to take the piss in League One. He's going to absolutely smash it. Brett Longley, watching Barcelona now and they're not missing him. Yeah, who do they play though? I forgot who they played. My bad. Who did they play, Brett? Remind me. Richard Randall, just like A-League dropped off in entertainment around 2011-13, roughly when they banned standing room in North and South Terrace. Football died and the league development followed. Yeah, Rick, so I used to go to the A-League really regularly, you probably remember. And I used to go in the North Terrace with Melbourne Victory, and it was jumping. And that's why I went. The football was not great. It was improving, but it wasn't great, especially compared to what I'm used to back home. But the atmosphere, for the number of people in the stadium especially, is why I went. I went to get that feeling. And it's the same reason I go to the Melbourne Chelsea Supporters Club and don't just watch Chelsea at home, because I want that feeling and that energy. That's what it's about. Nick Casimo, have you heard about the new championship in Australia? I think it would be massive if a club victory went down, and great for the new kids coming through. Yeah, Nick, so if they actually go ahead and do promotion relegation, yes, I'm all for it. But that was literally what they're saying with the championship is exactly what the NPL was packaged as when they introduced it. It was supposed to be the second tier of Australian football. It was going to come in, the teams were going to play for a bit, get themselves up to a level, and then they were going to introduce promotion relegation. It never happened. So I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath because this is what we were promised with the NPL, and that's not what happened. Brett Longley, Sociedad. Yes. Barca are struggling, but they've still got quality players that should be beating Sociedad. You'll find out where Barcelona are at when they play your Atleticos, your Real Madrids, and those sort of guys. Peter Natsis, back in the day we didn't get paid to play in the state leagues that now pay ridiculous amounts. Shy players getting paid to play state league football these days. Pete, it was one of the biggest headaches when I first come back down to Pakenham as well. I remember talking to you about it before you came over. And the craziness is you're coming down, mate, and you're coming down to see this State 5 game, and there's 40-odd-year-old blokes running around on money because they played for a decent club 10 years ago. It just bewilders the brain, mate. It's absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. Liam, welcome to the stream, man. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Jack Grealish, flop or jet at Man City? He'll do well at Man City. He's a good player. I think, and I've said this before, I think the thing with Jack Grealish, he was at a team where it was easy for him to stand out. I don't think he was worth £100 million. Personally, I don't think he was. A lot of flair. Definitely a flair player, and definitely creates problems and draw fouls and that sort of stuff. End product though, his stats for scoring and assists are not any more outstanding than most of the sort of better players, not even the best, better players in the Premier League. I think he'll do well. I think under Pep he'll learn a lot. Was he worth 100 million? I don't think he was. I think he was at a club that made him look better than he was. That's my opinion anyway. Jack Brett. Seeing the fans back in the UK is just intense, nothing else like it. Mate, it just makes me want to go home and watch a game in the stadium, especially when I'm stuck at home watching it by myself at the moment. I'd take a League 2 game at the moment back home. It's just, you're right, there's nothing else like it, mate. There's nothing else like being in the stadium. I mean, even when I went to Perth to watch Chelsea play, actually the best part about that was the build-up before the game. We were all in the pub having a drink, chanting away, having a good time, throwing sticks of celery around. If you're Chelsea, you know. It was just great. And to be around that's what people fall in love with. Kieran Dover, he does have nice calves. I reckon most of the footballers would, Kieran, but the thing is he's the only one that wears his socks that low. So, yeah. Richard Randall, bring on the crafty. 100%, Rick. I am missing the crafty in a big way. Edvin, extra 2-week lockdown. Do you think the session will proceed or should they call it? We was just talking about that before, Edvin. Personally, I think it should be called. As I was saying, I think like my under 16s, for example, as it stands now, I think we've got like 9 catch-up games to try and play because we missed a double header. We were supposed to have a game Saturday, Sunday. We missed both of those, obviously. You add 2 weeks on top of that, you're looking at half a season trying to catch up, and the league would normally finish in a few weeks anyway. So add to that your regional teams are still playing, they're going to get an added advantage from that. I just don't think it makes sense to keep going. I think it gets called, Edwin. But it's good to see you in here, mate. Hope you're doing well. How's things? Jack Brett, FFA should just let us play. It won't happen. It won't happen. Yeah. I do wish, but here we are. So the main thing, Jack, is I wish we had some consistency. The stop-start is what kills me. We either play or we don't. Stop building me up and letting me down, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, I think it should get called. Whether they will or not, different matter. They might try and squeeze the last little bit of lifeblood out of it. I don't know. If I was in charge of what happens here for FE, I'd say scrap the season as soon as we can. Let's have some sort of big tournament and just get everyone, as many people as we can together, and just play a whole bunch of games over a week, couple of weekends, whatever it might be. Have a bit of a tournament and just have fun with it. I think that, for me, that would be the best way to go about it. We've still got something to look forward to. We can still come out and play. I'd even make the tournament free and just get people out playing, personally. But that's me. Reece Albury, looking forward, Metro teams look like they're in strife with these lockdowns. Yeah, there's already been a number of clubs that pulled out this year because of the difficulties with COVID. I was talking before about getting Chris Gomez, the president of Pakenham United, to come on and have a chat. He can probably shed some more light on the sort of impact this has on a club. So that'll be a good chat to have with him as well. But there are clubs that pulled out this year because of the difficulties. And then, like, even when we can play, we can play, but we can't open canteen. And for a lot of clubs, that canteen is a massive, massive source of income. It pays ref fees and all that sort of stuff. So to have the club open and running, but not running the canteen, the club's just falling further and further into deficit. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't realise is, oh, we pay our fees and all this sort of stuff, and well, we should get this and that. And I understand it. I do understand it because I've been a player as well. But it's not that easy for the clubs either. And it's just, the fact is, it's crap for everyone. It is absolutely crap for everyone. Richard Randall, if promotion relegation is to happen this year, I think have a mini group tournament for promotion relegation won't happen. It's as simple as that. It won't happen because it's too hard to. Because you do that top 4, for example, team in 5th. What if the team in 5th is only a point behind and there's 16 games to play or whatever it is? They can easily make a case they could have been that 4th place team and they deserve the shot. So I think promotion relegation just won't happen. Jack Brett can have 100 blokes on a construction site daily, but we can't play a game of football once a week. It's madness. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. I mean, even if you look at the press conference that announces these lockdowns, you can have a whole bunch of politicians, paparazzi and all that sort of stuff, all huddled around each other trying to get the best part of the story. Can't play football. Unreal. Richard Randall, I prefer no promotion, no relegation. I feel like that's what will happen. For me now, if I was in charge of a club now, if I was the president of the club, or a senior coach of the club, or whatever it might be, I would be focusing purely on what next year is going to be. So I'd be hitting my players up, who's sticking around, who's looking to move on, having those chats. Because even if we do play again this season, it's going to be for nothing now. There's going to be no promotion. There's going to be no relegation. It's basically just go out, have a kick, try and keep fit. Maybe you can work on your systems a little bit more and stuff like that, but you're not really playing for a position in the league because it's going to mean nothing at the end of it. So I think now is all about preparing for next season. For me, that's my take. I could be wrong, but that's sort of how I would go about handling it personally. Nick Casimo, I think FFV should listen to clubs more. They don't care, plain and simple. Yeah, I'm sure they'd argue they do care, but you can also understand why players, clubs, officials feel like they don't. Yeah, it's a shit situation. they've got wages to pay and stuff like that. I understand that. They do have wages and people they need to pay and all that good stuff. But at the same time, they go into this season knowing the likelihood is we're going to get locked down multiple times, and they haven't really planned around that. It's all on the fly. It just doesn't feel very well done. Jack Brett, yeah, and they bail themselves out using our money. Yeah, they do, Jack. And then here's the problem with that, Jack. They bail themselves out using the money they've taken from registrations, etc., etc., etc. All the pressure falls back on the clubs to refund players, and the players go straight back to the club. The players don't go knock on the FFE door and ask them for their money back. They knock. Oh, I'm losing my mic. Sorry, 2 seconds. Getting too passionate about it. The players don't go back to FFE and complain at FFE. The players go back to the club, knock on the club's door and go, we didn't get a season, give us our money. And the clubs, their hands are tied. What can they do? Anyway, loads of people watching. Say hello, guys. Give us a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. But the main thing, say hello. Let us know you're here. Join in the chat. Anything you want to ask me, talk about, any of that good stuff, let us know in the chat. Have a chat. Let us know you're here. Jack Brett. Yeah, I'll go knocking on Chris Gomez's door. Can't blame you, mate. I'll take his knees, personally. Dushko. I've got to go, Dino. Enjoying the stream a lot. Keep up that great work. Thanks, Dushko. Thanks for coming in, mate. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Get on to the boys about joining in. Jack Brett, what's your goal of the weekend? Goal of the weekend for me was... I've gone brain dead. What's his name? I said this the other day. Sorry, Jack. Give me a sec. Give me 2 seconds. I've got to just quickly find his name. It's the Leeds goal, but I've gone brain dead on the name, which is shocking. I'm on a football stream and I can't remember the guy's name. Ayling's goal. Absolute screamer. Absolute screamer. That's the goal of the weekend. For me personally, it's Trevor Chalobah's for sentimental reasons. But if I'm being honest and I'm being neutral, that Ayling goal, absolute belter. But you boys tell me, where was we? Chris Natsis, we've already had those chats with our senior group. Majority have stated they want to come back and build from this year. 2022 is now what we have to look forward to, so you're 100% correct. That's that's, as I just said, that's the approach I'd be taking, Chris. So good on you guys for having that sort of foresight and jumping on it now. Chris Gomez, Jack, only because you want to see Gizmo. Gizzy. Jack Brett, Leeds one. Yep, we talked about that. Richard Randall, FFE have club meet and greets at the end of season each year, but funny thing about that is to steal ideas from clubs who are not getting paid to do the job. Part 2 coming. Pakenham was the first club back in 2011 to use Gumtree as a marketing ploy to find players, promotion, events, games, etc. I'm guessing there's more coming, so I'm going to hold on that. Cam Sice, Ayling, Brett Longley, Ayling. It is a screamer. It is an absolute screamer. That will be one of the goals of the season, for sure. Edvin, Pogba is unreal, too good. Mate, 4 assists in one game. That's insanity. Absolute insanity. What Pogba needs to do, as Peter Natsis was saying earlier, what Pogba needs to do is do it more than once a season, though. Jack Brett, I heard Cam Sice is Resi manager next year. Cam, can you confirm any rumours there? If you're still about that, are you Resi manager next year? Is that what's going on? We got Cam in here, so we'll hear it from the horse's mouth, as it were. Reese, thank you for sharing the stream, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Chris Gomez, no comment. Richard Randall, Gumtree ads got picked up on search engines. FFE took and promoted it. Why not? Cam Sice, rumours only. There you go. Jack, rumours only, mate. From the horse's mouth. So, we've got like 15 people watching. only a couple talking. If you're in here, say hello, drop us a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Main thing is, say hello, let us know you're here, join in the chat. Even if it's not football related, just say hello, we'll see how you're feeling, all that good stuff. Let us know you're about. It's just nice to know that you guys are here and we can have a chat and bounce things around. Brett Longley confirmed then. Yeah, Brett, I think you see quite a lot of managers go, oh no, I'm focused on what I'm doing, and then next minute they've gone and taken that job. So it could be. I think Jack Brett might be onto something there. We shall see. How are you doing anyway, Chris? Chris Natzers, how you doing, mate? You good? Jack Brett, share the stream. Thanks for the share, Jack. I appreciate that, mate. Nicole Dover, like the stream. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming in. I think your brother was kicking around in here. I don't know if he still is. Kieran, if he's still about. Yeah, so Richard Randall, all 3 comments were one big comment that had to be broken up. That's the glory of chat sometimes, Rick. But no, I remember those days. I remember using Gumtree to find players, and I remember you finding that. And I actually remember the screen grab of us on the AFL website, the Packing and Mad. I remember that. Back in the early days. Brett Longley just had a look at my old club in Canberra. We'll need to bring you up for a week next year. Mate, if they've got the money, maybe I'll coach. Yeah, no, for sure, Brett. I'm keen on that, man. Let me know. Jack Brett, just try to get the English boys in on the action. Mate, get them in here. That's what we need. We need some proper English banter in here. Nicole, we shared. Awesome, Dean. Love your work. Thank you, Nicole. I really appreciate it, mate. Hope you're doing well. Chris Nass's, PS, another Paxton versus Alfredton friendly again next year. Peter Nass's, let's get it organised. Very well, mate. Just had a FaceTime meeting with the reserve group just to see how they're tracking with their fitness. Missing those cold nights at training, if I'm honest. Yeah, Chris, me too, mate. That's the big reason behind this stream is I'm just missing football, mate. So it's not the same watching it by yourself. So I figured jump on here, get you guys involved. We can all talk about it. It sort of takes a little bit of the pain of missing the game away. So I will try and stream as regularly as you guys want to get on and talk. So basically, I'll keep testing out times and days and stuff like that, and whatever's getting the most hits, that's what we'll run with. But you guys let me know when you're keen. I'm happy to pop on and chat whenever. So, and even outside of the stream, if you just want to have a chat, you can hit me up anytime, guys. But I'm keen for that friendly, Chris. So if Peter's still about, if you're still about, Pete, have a chat to your brother, get that game sorted. But yeah, and feel free to get your boys involved in here as well, Chris. Invite them in, mate. Get them part of the banter. We can get some Packing and Alfrington banter going on that. We'll get the game started up. Brett Longley, but yeah, no, honestly, Brett, when we're allowed to move past our front door, for sure, keep in touch and let me know. I'd be more than happy to come and have a look. If FFE ever get back to me about the AIS situation, we could make both of those work together. Reece Albury, any special guests coming on in the future? Yeah, Reece, we were talking about that a bit earlier. So we do have, I've got a couple of things going on in terms of I have some co-hosts for some set shows coming on. So one of the shows we're looking at is probably going to be like a Premier League focused show for one guy I've already spoken to. He's really keen on getting involved. His thing is the Premier League and NPL. Obviously NPL is not running right now, so I'll probably get him on to talk Premier League with me. And then there's another guy I've asked to join in. He knows everything Bundesliga. He knows everything in general, but he knows everything Bundesliga, so I'll probably get him in to chat about that sort of stuff and just have like a more focused show around that sort of stuff. And then I've got interviews. So we've got the great Peter Natsas, Chris Gomez, so those guys from the local game. But we've also got, I've got a guy from the Chelsea Academy back home who's keen to come on once I've got everything running properly, obviously, because I don't want to get a guy of that calibre coming on a stream that's not running professionally, shall we say. But he's 100% keen. As soon as we're ready, he's happy to come on and have a chat. I've got a couple of other guys from the game back home. I can talk to Kieran about getting on for some goalkeeper tips, Cam. I've got some guys from like Croatia, around Europe, all that sort of stuff, and I've got some guys and girls. I should say, and girls. I've got some girls lined up as well from Australia and around the world. So there's a lot of stuff coming up. It's just about me, A, building up our community, getting enough people in here to interact with, and B, nailing down the streaming thing, because I'm still new to it. I'm still getting it working properly. But yes, we have loads of guests lined up. Chris Gomez, stream when a game is on so we can watch together. The problem with that is licensing, and I don't want to get struck and wiped out. So let me see if I can work something around that. But yeah, that's the whole reason I don't share game clips and stuff of things I'm talking about as well, because you get too many strikes, your account gets shut down, and bang, my stream's over before it starts. So Chris Nat says I'll definitely get him onto here to have a chat. That'd be great, mate. As you can see, it's all a bit of light-hearted fun. We're all here to enjoy it, so that'll be good. Brett Longley. Hi, Fred Zub. Fred Zub? Did I miss something? I might have missed something there. Fred Zub. How did I miss that? Anyway, continuing on. Cam Seisker and we've done that. Nick Casimo should get Danny Norton on. I'll have a chat to him, Nick. I'll see if he's up for it. I know at the moment he's sort of just enjoying, relaxing and doing his own thing. But if he's happy to come on, I'll have a chat to him for sure. Kieran Dover, I'm the keeper's worst enemy. I need to see this, Kieran. As soon as games are back on, I need to get back down and watch you again, mate. Brett Longley. I can help with licensing issues and stuff like that. Contracts are my thing. We need to chat then, Brett. We need to chat, because that can make this stream a bit more fun. Chris Nat says, I'll try and get Alex Metropolis to get in touch with you. His mates from overseas. One Mr. C. Cole. Oh, mate, that'd be amazing. I'd really appreciate that, mate. That'd be fantastic. Chris Gomez, we watch on our own and put your chat about the game as it's on. Yeah, if you want to do that, Chris, we can maybe work that out. Cam Sice, I've never seen it. Cam throwing shade around. Oh dear. Brett Longley, Fred is from my school in Canberra, the Lord of Football at St Edmunds College. There you go. Is he in the chat? Is he, Brett? Get him to say hello. Jack Brett, my great uncle is Jack Cock, had 99 games and 47. Mate, that is sensational. What a claim. What a claim. What a claim. Who else has got like a famous footballer relative? Let's get some of that going. Talk to us. Who are you related to that's famous in the world of football? Not necessarily Premier League, could be like Championship, League One. Who's played for a good level club in your family? Even in Australia, NPL, A-League, whatever it might be. The lofty heights of State 3. Jack Brett, would love to hear some more club history. Is that around Chelsea or Pakenham, Jack? Which one? I can indulge you with both. Nick Casimo, should start Premier League tipping or fantasy. If enough people want to get involved in that, mate, we can make that happen. Cam Sice, Messi. Hang on, what have I missed here? Messi. What about Messi, Cam? I feel like I'm missing some chats here, guys. Hang on a second. Kieran Dover, Stephen Gerrard is my dad. Richard Randall, my stepdad's nephew is Kevin Muscat. Is that for real, Rick? Cousin. That one makes more sense. Cam Sice, related to Messi. I don't know about that, mate. I don't know about that. I'm not sure if I'm buying that. Nick Casimo, Joel Kelly, best player. Wish I was related though. Get him in here, Nick. Where's he at? Richard Randall, cousin. Sorry. Jack Brett, get him in for an interview, mate. You want me to get Messi in for an interview? You should have. I would have called him before the session, but I'll see if I can get a hold of him. What do we reckon about Danny Ings? Surely Villa is a downgrade. You'd imagine so, actually, Cam. I tend to agree with you on that. I was a bit surprised that's where he went to. He's a good striker. He's going to do good things for him, I would imagine. But yeah, I was a bit surprised that's where he went. Edward McCullum Sr. My dad is Pele. There you go. Didn't know Pele was Scottish. Where's the Glaswegian Pele? Can you get us a picture of the Glaswegian Pele, please, Eddie? Chris Natsis. Peter Natsis is my right. I get you, Chris. Sorry, mate. Well, Google his name. He'll tell you himself. Jack Brett. Eddie Jr.'s dad is a... Jesus, Jack. That's not very nice. That's not very nice at all. I'm not getting involved in that one. That's between you two. But yeah, if we can get a picture of the... Eddie, if you can send me a picture of Glaswegian Pele, I'll put it up on the stream. Assuming it's appropriate. Jack, ask your mum. Oh my God. This is getting messy. Chris Nassus, mate, he has told me my whole life. Oh dear. Who was the better player, Chris? Who was the better player? Like, honestly. Love him, though. He's a good bloke, isn't he, Jack? He's a crack up. If you're in chat, you haven't said hello, get in the chat. Talk to me. If you're watching this stream and you haven't said hello, you need to say hello. Come on, Chris. Who's the better player? Let's get it out in the air. Nick Casimo, what's your favourite story from being a coach? Actually, Nick, I'll tell you mine. It was at Dandy City. So my favourite story, Chris, I can't honestly answer that question. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. So my favourite story from being a coach, I was at Dandy City coaching there. I was coaching the actually they were the under 14s at the time. And we had this player in the team. I won't name names, but he was struggling. He was a little bit behind on development and stuff like that. And we kept working with him. He had the best attitude. Always turned up to training smiling. Nicest kid. Absolute gem of a guy. Really, really was a gem of a guy. And we kept working with him. And we go away to this game. And he scores a brace. So he scores 2 goals in this game. And the reaction, especially for the first goal when this guy scored against this team, the reaction from the boys in the team and myself when he scored this goal was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It was one of my proudest moments of a coach to see all the boys get around him and celebrate. It was like they'd won the league. That's a memory that will stay with me forever. Where are we? Chris Nassis, we've done that one. Reece, any games you're looking forward to in Premier League this weekend? Chelsea, Arsenal. Big rivalry. I'm hoping we touch Arsenal up. That'll make it that much better. But Chelsea, Arsenal, I'm really keen on. Jack Brett. Pete won't talk to him again if he does. Probably not. Richard Randall, who's your favourite club rivalry in the world? It's a good question, Rick. Give me a minute on that one. Fantasy Premier League code. There you go, guys. If you want to join in, there's a Fantasy Premier League code in the chat there. You can join the legendary Kieran Dover and Cam Sice. There you go. So, favourite club rivalry. I'm interested in hearing some of yours as well, guys. What are your favourite club rivalries from world football? I'm going to go... they've sort of changed over the years. That some of the rivalries that used to be really fierce aren't so much, and then some of the ones that weren't as fierce, they're more fierce now. So you look at like Chelsea Leeds back in the day was, I mean, for those of you that haven't, look up the Chelsea Leeds 1970 FA Cup final. Just as a bit of a look into how savage it was, the commentary was, it looked like at times the referee would only give a foul on presentation of a death certificate. It was just an absolute butchering of a game. Packen and Bunyip, Jack Fred, that's got to be a shout, mate. That's got to be a shout. That's a cracker game, that. Milan and Inter Milan. Yeah, that's a good rivalry, Nick. That's a classic one. I think, your Barca Real Madrids are one of the ones you sort of first go to. Nick Casimo, Beric Dufton, another cracker. So you look at your Real Barca's, they always get good. Chelsea Tottenham always gets good. Bayern Borussia always gets good. It's hard to pick a favourite. It's really hard to pick a favourite because they've changed so much over the years. If I was going to pick one game that epitomises absolute rivalry, though, the Chelsea Leeds FA Cup final 1970. That epitomises it. That is absolute savagery at its finest. West Ham Millwall, that's another great one. Absolute great one. Chelsea Millwall, Chelsea West Ham, absolute crackers. Absolute crackers. Chelsea Millwall was savage, mate. Chelsea Millwall was savage. Where are we? My favourite for most entertaining, the Milan Derby. Yeah, they're always good fun. They're always a good game. Chelsea Millwall, like we talked about that. That's always going to be a good bit of fun. Who's the GOAT in your opinion? Like in the world, or don't be shouting Millwall on my wall, mate. Keep that to someone else's chat. Dear. Celtic versus the Huns, yeah, Ed, 100%, mate. How dare I not mention that? That is a cracking rivalry. That's, GOAT in the world. Right now, if we're going off of what we saw last season, it's hard. Everyone goes your typical Messi, Ronaldo, but I don't think last year either of them were GOATs. I don't think either of them will get Ballon d'Or. I'm going to go Kante for what he done for Chelsea, and then France. I think he's in the shout. De Bruyne is in the shout. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure to be sure, Nick. I don't think there's one GOAT at the moment. But who do you reckon? You tell me. My uncle played for Chelsea, then managed Millwall. How did he get out of there alive, Jack? No loyalty, runs in the family blood. I'll keep that in mind, mate. Liam, can't go past Timo Werner. Are you talking about for the GOAT, Liam? Is that what we're on about here? Nick, the GOAT, Lewandowski. And I apologise for not thinking of him sooner. Lewandowski. Jack to join Bunyip. Well, based on the little chat he just gave us there, Cam, you could be onto something, mate. Dear. They got some good facilities down there. Oh, Jack. Oh, mate. Who's your GOAT, Nick? And chat in general, who do you reckon is the best player in the world at the moment? Lewandowski, yeah. He's flying at the moment, Nick. He is flying at the moment. It's a little bit silly that he wasn't the first name that popped into my head, but there you go. It's getting late. I'm a bit tired. I've had a big day at work. So, Lewandowski's definitely a shout. Jack Brett, agree. Alright guys, it's coming up on my son's bedtime, so I'm going to start wrapping it up. For those of you that are still in here, if we go like I don't know, let's say Brett Longley. Lewandowski was massive for Bayern this weekend too. He's a freak. He's an absolute freak. Nothing more to be said. Gaffer watching boys keep it clean, Jack. Peter Nassis, is there a question people want to ask me? What I'll do, Pete, is when we know when your interview is going to be, I'll put it out there to people to send me their questions, and we'll ask you everything in one hit. But the question was, who was better, you or Chris? Brett Longley, I'm out, good chat. See you, Longley, good to see you, mate. Reece Albury, how about the rumours flying around about Ronaldo transfer to PSG? Won't happen this year. I'd be very surprised anyway, but I don't think it'll happen this year. Liam, Goat has to Rudy Gustidi. Yeah, yeah. What he did for Richie was unmatched. What a shout, Liam. What a shout. Lewandowski doesn't touch him. They're probably a bit far away for that, to be fair. Reece Albury, missing midfield, Ronaldo goal scorer. Ronaldo, he can bang in goals. Please, that's me easy. All right, well, we've got the answer. There you go, boys. Peter's better than Chris. But yeah, Peter, I'll get, when we work out, when I get this stuff running properly, I'll talk to you about getting you on, and then we'll put it out to the chat when we announce that you're officially coming on. We'll put it out to the chat, get the questions together, and we'll have a good question session. As I said, guys, I'm going to start wrapping it up. But for those of you that are still in here, if we went for like a Wednesday night stream, no, I can't do Wednesday night. Should we go Thursday night stream? Because most of us would be at training usually anyway. If we go for a Thursday night stream, let us know in the chat if you'd be keen for that. 7 o'clock work. Is 7 o'clock a good time for everyone? Basically, I'm trying to work out what days and times work best for everybody. Too easy done. Beautiful, Peter. If Messi can't score from midfield as well as he does, then he's got his backup. Would love to see that. I'm telling you, mate, Messi is going to dominate League One. Absolutely dominate. Chris Gomez liked the stream. Thank you for the like, Chris. Appreciate it, mate. Guys, if you haven't, please give us a like. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please share the feed. Please share the page, the Football Forum page, the Facebook page. Get your mates in here. Get your mates involved. As you can see, when there's more of us in here and that chat's popping, it just keeps everything flowing nicely. We have a bit of fun, a bit of a laugh. It's just good fun. So please like, please share, please subscribe on YouTube. Like the videos on YouTube as well. It makes their algorithm happy or some crap. I don't really understand, but I really appreciate all the support. And basically, the more support, the more people we get in here, the better sort of interviews I can run and stuff like that. So I've got people I can reach out to, people that I know personally as well, still from back home, and other places like America. There's people I can reach out to, but I want to make sure I'm bringing them into a nice stream. So give us that support. Where are we? Chris Nassis, at the moment it's me. Liam, Thursday night works, beautiful. Nick, sounds good, beautiful. Jack, Brett, Pete's on the comeback for 2022. That'd be great, I'd love to see that. Reese, all over it, beautiful, mate, thank you very much. Jack, get a PayPal. I have a PayPal, Jack. It should be showing up. If it's not, I think it shows up on YouTube below the video. So if you're on YouTube, you look below the video, there's a link that says support the stream. Is it not showing up on Facebook? Because if it's not, that's a problem and I need to fix that. But yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, it should be just below, well, cameras are backwards, just below the video, there should be something that says support the stream. That should take you to the donation page. If it's not on Facebook, that's annoying. I'll get onto that. If Billy Gilmore was English, would they suck his dick as much as they do Mason Mount? I feel like Billy Gilmore still gets plenty of fellatio, Liam. Langston Moreau, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, mate. Thank you for... I can't even see what that says. Give me a second. Give me a second. I missed an interaction. Following the stream. Thank you, mate. Sorry if I've said your name wrong. Thanks for following the stream. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to say hello, my guy. Liam, Gilmore is a gun. I will praise him until the cows come home. He is a superstar in the making. Is he as good as Mason Mount? He's a bit younger, so I think he can be at least as good as, if not better. Dare I say it. Jack Brett. On Facebook and can't see any donation thing. Not below the video or anything. I don't know. If you can't see it, that's fine. I'll look into it. Reese, not on Facebook as far as I can see. Okay. I'll work that out, boys. I'll try and get that fixed up for next stream. Chris, I'm down for any time, mate. Love the banner and love the football chat. Need more of it around the clubs and state leagues. More than happy to cover more state leagues and club stuff, mate. Let me know what sort of stuff you want to see. This goes for everybody. Let me know what stuff you want to see. I'll get onto it. I'll look into it myself and do as much research as I can with what I have available. We'll talk about that stuff. And like I said, Chris, get your boys in here. The more people we have in here, the better the banner flows. It's just a better time. So, Nick Casimo, only on YouTube, the donation. Okay, so it does work on YouTube. That's a win. I'll look into getting it working on Facebook. I also need to work on getting the damn Twitch thing working, because I've got guys that want to watch on Twitch. They're harassing me, and for some reason, every time I go live, it says that my Twitch is merged, and then it doesn't connect through to Twitch. I don't know what's going on there. I've got someone helping me out Wednesday, which is why I can't be on Wednesday. Hopefully we can work that problem out and have Twitch up and running as well. But yeah, I'll look into the donation thing, guys. Liam, yeah, he looks mad at the Euros. Yeah, he's a gun. He's an absolute gun. I think he's going to do big things for Norwich as well this year, Liam. He could well be one of the sort of young player of the year. He could well win that award. Where are you playing next year, by the way, Liam? Where are you playing? I need to get down and watch some games when you can play. Richard Randall, Gilmore and Mount, completely different players. Yeah, they are different players. I'm talking about the sort of level they can get to overall, rather than one being directly better than the other one. But yeah, I think Gilmore can reach a similar level as Mason Mount for sure. If not a little bit better, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, he is quality. There's a reason he's likened to Fabregas. I've said it before. The kid's quality. He's amazing on the ball. He's got good distribution. And you can see he's just playing because he loves the game. And that's a massive thing. If you're playing football because you feel like it's something you need to do because you're good at it and it's not the same as someone that's playing the game for the love of the game. You're always going to get a better performance out of someone that's out there because they want to be out there. And for the boys in the chat, Resi, seniors, juniors, whoever it might be, Mikey is a good example of that at our club. You're always going to get the best out of Mikey because Mikey just loves to play football. He just loves it, and that's it. He doesn't need to be pushed. He pushes himself because it's what he loves doing. Liam, Dandy City, mate, went back this year playing in the 19s and 21s. Good work, mate. I'm glad you're back there. They'll be wrapped you're back there. How are you going this year? How's your season going? Edwin McCullum Senior, Gilmore, future Chelsea captain. There's a few good cases. There's Mount, there's Gilmore, there's Reece. I don't think Reece James will get there. I don't think he's quite as outspoken as Mount. But yeah, Gilmore could be a shout. Mount could be a shout. Reece James could be a shout. Who knows how that develops. I will say this because I've seen enough of him, because I've followed, as Rick, who's in the stream, can vouch for. I've followed the Chelsea Youth Academy very closely as well. Trevor Chalobah could easily turn into a captain, 100%. But yeah, Gilmore's definitely one of the shouts. If we keep him, that's going to be the thing. Nick Casimo, Liam is very good to play with. Liam is a gun. I rate him very highly. Yep, absolute gun. Exactly. You two in the same team together would be a very good thing to see. So, yeah, all right, just being crazy with lockdown every couple of weeks, have gotten no flow. Hopefully our seniors stay afloat so we can have an uninterrupted season next year in NPL 1. So, if you missed it, Liam, I'm pretty confident there won't be promotion demotion, so I'm pretty sure you will be NPL 1 next year. But as for the no flow, mate, completely feel that, 100%. In my first stream, I was talking about how it's hard, even as a coach, to stay motivated when you've got this stop-start stuff going on. It's very hard to stay motivated as a coach, as a player. So I feel that, mate. I understand that fully. Stop it, guys. Stop being so good. Richard Randall, no, don't really stop being so good. Richard Randall, Dean's really a Millwall fan. Stop that. Why would you say something like that? That's ridiculous. Nick Casimo, we're staying up. Pretty sure you will do. Nicky Karma saved us. Quality. I know who you meant. Quality. Yeah, look, I do need to get back down to Dandy City and watch some games and stuff. I do miss the club. I learned a lot there, and the people down there are always good to me, and the food's sensational. The food is sensational. Big part of the reason I got the body I got today. But yeah, just a really good community, and that's what I was talking about with the whole being proud of the community and all that sort of stuff. They were fantastic to me, and that Croatian community it's good to be around. It is good to be around. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I've got to go say goodnight to my little boys, so we're going to wrap it up. Liam, a fair few boys were riffing off your name from their this year's 17s. They remember you for sure. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of my boys left there from the 17s, to be fair, Liam. So Mikey's with me at Pakenham, obviously. And another guy that I had, Ali, he's at Casey Panthers in this under 16As at Casey Panthers. Thomas, my old goalkeeper, left. And I think a couple of other guys weren't playing anymore. I know a couple of the guys went to Dandy Thunder. One went to Oakley. One went back to Bentley Greens. But if you do talk to them boys, you can tell them, Liam, you can tell them that I know where they're at. And I'm keeping tabs on them because they were a good team. I enjoyed working with those boys. And it was just unfortunate that my personal life got a little bit out of hand, and I had to go home and say goodbye to my nan because she wasn't well. So, but I loved that team. I really loved that team, and I was very upset about leaving that team. So, yeah, I remember them. I do keep track of where they're at. I do follow them. So, you can let them know. Reza and Zaki, yeah, mate, they're good boys. They're good boys, and you can let them know that I do keep track of them. I know I still follow their careers, and I do miss them. I do miss them. So, yeah. Can't beat the Packy boys. Eddie, again, similar sort of. I've got a lot of love and a lot of pride for Pakenham, as you guys down there would know. You know, even when I'm not at Pakenham, I'm at Pakenham, and Chris can vouch for that. Even when I'm not there, I'm always available for the call. I'm always happy to come down to the club and help out, and you know, I love that club. You know, I helped, along with Richard, I helped build that club. So Pakenham will always be an important part of my life for sure. Liam, yeah, fair enough, man. Yeah, I do miss him, Liam, and I do need to get down and see him play some more. That's for sure. So hopefully, when things get back to normal, and if our fixtures and that don't clash, I'll try and get down and see these guys play. Curfew time. Yeah, I've got to go say goodbye to my son. I keep saying, Chris Beasley, thanks for the follow, my man. Really appreciate it. Seeing as you've just joined, I am saying goodbye, but Thursday, 7 o'clock, we're going again. So please join us then, and we'll have a good chat. I do need to say goodbye, boys. I've got to go say goodnight to my son. Stay safe, Dean. Brilliant stream. Love it. Keep it up. Need a Chavapi roll. Yeah, mate. If you go to Dandy City, guys, get a Chavapi roll. They are banging. Also, their pork belly rolls. Unreal. Anyway, boys, good night. Thanks for the support. Chat to you on Thursday, all right? We'll see you on Thursday. Let your boys know. Let everyone know. Thursday night, we're back here, 7 o'clock for training.